Hi everyone, I'm Marley Schmidt and I will be doing my first mini lesson plan over a poem called Sun Poem. So basically what this poem does is just tell you about the sun, what the sun does, what it is. It talks about how it is the cause of rain and snow, it is a bright white light, it's a burning star, it heats things, and so on. So in this lesson, students will read a poem together as a class that talks about what the sun does. After reading the poem, the students will be asked to write down the jobs of the sun that we learned about in the poem that we read as a class. After completing the lesson, students will be able to explain what the sun does for our planet. This lesson meets the Common Core Standard K-PS3-1, which is students can make observations to determine the effect of sunlight on Earth's surface. So this falls under the science category at about the kindergarten age. By meeting the standard, I will be helping students build on skills that we have already touched on in previous lessons. In order to prepare for this lesson, I will pass out the poem that we will be reading out loud to each student as they walk into the classroom. So for the connection, I will ask the students to use prior knowledge that they have gained in the previous lesson regarding plants. I will ask them to recall what plants need in order to have energy besides water. When they come to the conclusion that plants need sunlight to have energy, I will tell them that much like plants, Earth, and all of us humans, even us all in the classroom, we all need sunlight to have energy and to grow and to live. By connecting this new lesson to a prior lesson regarding plants, it will include familiar components to the students, so hopefully it will make it easier for them to understand this new information. For a demonstration, I will read the poem out loud to the class one more time before they get in their groups and start this activity. I'll point out to them one interesting word or fact that I found that will help them to recognize what I expect them to do for this group project. So for this Teacher's Point activity, I will group students into groups of about 4 and ask them the question, what does the sun do? They will work together to find a word or a sentence in the text that describes what the sun does. When they have found 4 important words or sentences that tell us one job, at least one job that the sun does, they'll share their findings with the class. Every group will take a turn telling the class what they found about their poem by looking for keywords and just analyzing what they've read. So to link this activity, I will have the students raise their hands and tell me the information that they learned, and as they tell me what they found, I will write it down on a poster, and when the poster is completed at the end of class, I will hang it on the wall so that they can recall this information tomorrow. So they're retaining the information. We can go over it again rather than just going over it for one day and it wouldn't really retain much. After I point out to the students that the poster is on the wall regarding what they learned about the sun, I will let them know that within the next few weeks we'll be making a poster for every plant in our solar system, so we can link those all together. Also, for the rest of the activities regarding making the posters and analyzing the poems that we read, I'll tell them that if they really want to, they can come to the board and write the important words that they find on the whiteboard so that they can be more active and engaged if they wish to be. One adaptation that may need to be made is to read the poem out loud to the groups instead of having them analyze it by themselves, because sometimes kindergartners, you're either at the level where you can read by yourself, or a lot of kindergartners tend to struggle with it. So if they do struggle, I will sit by the groups and I will read them out loud. By reading the poem out loud to the students who might struggle with reading, this isn't holding them back in any way. The students are still analyzing the poem, but they are identifying the words by listening rather than using their eyes. I will assess the success of the lesson by looking at how many jobs they identify that the sun has that were mentioned in the poem. By identifying most or all of the jobs that are done by the sun, students will meet the objective. So that is my mini lesson. Thank you.